Welcome back, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you for all the support and the views. I'm currently recording lots of stuff to kind of reinvigorate this channel with some new branding. I did start my own business, making action figures full-time now, so thank you for the support. You can always visit me on Instagram at GregSarabia I thought we'd start with something a little simple. Let's do a custom review of one of my new figures. Here we have Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower. I want to run through some details, kind of what I did on her, articulation, and then we'll do some size comparisons and everything at the end. Let's start with her Rakuyo, since I'm going to take it out of her hands right now. Because of the scale and how I make everything just, to be sturdy and functional, I do have to take some artistic liberties and sometimes simplify things down. So the Rakuyo is not as ornate and complicated as it is. I feel like that'd be easier to break, but we can separate it and she can still dual wield the smaller sword in the other hand. So she could be phase 1 Lady Maria without all the crazy blood magic and fire. So let's just kind of put that aside. Underneath all the clothes is a DC Multiverse The Drowned figure, which was the first female I got of the line, aside from a couple Wonder Woman figures. But she lent herself perfectly to this scale, and since I've been working with those bodies for my Dark Souls figures, I figured that'd be okay. Having made quite a few Dark Souls figures up to this point, I really wanted to enter the world of Bloodborne. I just didn't know where to start, once again being paralyzed by too many choices. And I thought maybe something beginner-friendly, not as complicated as an outfit. There's not a lot of armor to sculpt. If any, it's going to be all tailored clothing, and their look is very tight tailored clothing. Lady Maria, I would have said, would be more advanced, something that I could kind of work my way up to. But nope, as it would happen, I was commissioned to make a Lady Maria. At the same time, I was also commissioned to make Church Assassin Brador, which I'll compare them to. But now, with her being done, I am confident in really any other Bloodborne character, to be honest. Let's go ahead and look at the articulation. The DC Multiverse figures have that double barbell joint, and that allows for some side-to-side tilt, a little bit of forward and back rotation. The head is hampered by the hair, like the two sides that hang down, and her ponytail, and then she has the high collar. But she can still get plenty of expressive movement with her head. Shoulders can go up 90 degrees, a little bit higher, forward 90 degrees, and how about a make contact gesture? Let's get that up there. Because of the tightness of the clothes, and then these pieces that go over, it is some limitation in the articulation. Now, the DC Multiverse figures don't have true butterfly joints, but they have those big sockets where the barbell joint can move around. So I always trim the plastic away in there, and I get rid of that ring that kind of buffets it, so she can move all over the place. Kind of some shrug, back forward motion. Double jointed elbows are a little bit restricted because of the gloves, but that's just the nature of the tight sleeves and the gloves all being attached. Still though, a little bit further than 90 degrees. Now for the torso, you guys know these DC Multiverse figures have insane engineering inside. I wanted to separate her costume elements so that we could make the most out of it. So, for example, she can rotate at the waist. Her costume is made up of this undershirt garment that's long and comes down here. She has a vest, and then on the outermost is this coat. So we can still get some, everything's just attached strategically, right? The only thing that's really impacted is the ab crunch, but she can still go backwards a little bit. The hips can go out about that far. And we got a 90-degree forward kick. Now, her boots, which are iconic because she always sits in the chair with one leg crossed over the other, I feel like that was a point where I would have to get a little creative, and I had hoped that it wouldn't hinder the articulation too much. She has knee-high boots with this big cuff, and then she has this thing like wrapped around her knees as well, this darker fabric, but we're still able to get a little bit more than 90 degrees, which is pretty good. No butt kicking. Sorry, Robo. This will have to do. And then I did make a cast of these boots from a NECA Blade Runner figure. And we have the McFarlane joint in there for some rotation and swivel. Ankle pivot. So all in all, able to retain most of what we need to get in some fighting stances and then just to stand there and look menacingly. Unfortunately, she cannot sit cross-legged in a chair. That's not something this body could do anyway, no matter how much plastic I trimmed away, so little sacrifice that we had to make. Let's take a look at some of the details. I used a NECA Prometheus Shaw head. The actress Noomi Rapace, I think you say her name. But she has that bone structure that I think was fitting and kind of a blank expression because, you know, like the doll in Bloodborne is basically Lady Maria's face, and we know how she's not expressive. She does have the white hair and the pale skin of the Canehurst line in that game. Basically, you know, vampires, but not really vampires. So capturing that. And then she's also dead when you find her. I guess depending on, you know, there's the alpha version of the game where you can talk to her, you can kill her, she's killed herself, or she's murdered. That gives us the blood there. Sometimes it's really overboard, but I thought this was just the perfect amount. And I went off of the Prime 1 statue with a lot of the details here and the colors. I made her tricorn hat and a little feather, just really adhering closely to the source material as much as I could. Scaling where appropriate, because, you know, using the body I had. Sculpting her brooch. She has those Victorian neck wraps in there. Lots of layers too, so it'll be fun to visit the other hunters in the future because they all have really cool costumes. And then little elements like the chain, which you may not notice unless you put the costume on and kind of turn around. You don't notice it when you talk to her or fight her. One thing I like captured in the Prime statue is that she has this ornamentation all over her coat, this filigree. So just matching that. You guys have seen I've been doing that with my Lothric Knights. I'll go in with the gold, especially Oscar. I go chase it with all the gold pen that I use. So getting that down here, the trim. Even her pants have some design. The coat is two-toned, dark red on the inside, outside. And then her boots. I started with these feet, which were from a Blade Runner Love action figure, and I'm like, oh, perfect, they even have laces. And then I knew I wanted to do some fabric to kind of match and do the laces myself so that they could lace up here. Get that in focus, there we go. And then her two-toned half cape as well. Lady Maria stands about 6 3/4 tall, top of the hat adding a little bit more. Okay, let's do some size comparisons. First off, I'm going to start with my custom Lothric Knight and Brador. Let me get his horns in frame there. Brador's video will be coming along shortly. I just have to finish his bloodletter. Both of these males are using the DC Multiverse White Knight body, so that should give you some idea. Here's our Lady Maria with some DC Multiverse figures. Remember, underneath she is the drowned Batman Metal. I don't know, I didn't read that arc. I realized how much bigger Wonder Woman is compared to the average figure. And this Batman's really big too. Here she is with 2 NECA females in this 1/10 scale. Prometheus Shaw on the left, whose head that Lady Maria shares, and then the new Starlight, which the body's really good. I'm gonna have to find more of those, I think. Here she is with 2 Marvel Legends females, just to give you an idea of the scale difference and how much taller she is. Thank you all so much for watching. Keep an eye out for more videos like this, where I'm going to showcase my custom figures. I want to do some time lapses while I work, YouTube lives, some more making up videos. Let me know what you think in the comments. See you around.